Austin and Robin. This is round 2. We had a little bit last night, but there was some difficulties, so we're doing it out here at the park today. So let's just dive right in. Give us a little intro about your guys' band.
Well, I'm Austin.
I'm Robin.
We play for Gypsy Wagyn band, and today is our last show of our tour, and then we're out of Quartzsite, Arizona.
Yeah, we're done with Arizona for the next, I don't know, till the weather turns, so probably October or November.
Absolutely.
All right. Give a little background about your band and the meaning behind the band.
Sure. Well, actually, when we first started out, I used to play in a different band. It was called the Robin Lene Band, and we were in desperate need of a sound guy one time. And I called a buddy of mine and I'm like, help me out, and so he's like, oh, I got you, no problem. Well, as it turned out, he didn't have me, no problem. He didn't even have any sound gear.
No.
So he gets a hold of Austin in a panic on the day of the show.
Yeah, he calls me and he's like, oh, I need help. I got myself into a little stuff here, and he didn't have the gear to do it. And I had a bunch of stuff, and we ended up going to the venue, and we ran the sound. And
Right. But one more part about this story that I think you're really missing here is that, okay, so I'm in a professional blues band at the time, right? We're a 7-piece, all-pro band. In walks Austin, bandana, dirty shirt, and no shoes to run the professional sound for my show, and I'm like, everything's gonna be fine. So that was my first impression of Austin, and then later that very same day, it was separate, and we both found ourselves in the same kind of hideaway from where all the rest of the public is, and we both found ourselves there to smoke a cigarette. Got to talking and found out that he was actually a musician, not just a sound guy. I should say that he was the best sound guy we ever had.
well, we did all right.
So anyways, that's how we met. And then the name of the band came about when we knew we wanted to go on the road. And we bought ourselves a 1984 Coachman. Just like if you picture it, the old style little RV, mom and pop kind of thing, that's what it is.
And we traveled. Our first tour out here, it was like 2 years ago, and we lived in the Coachman when we were out here. Then we finished the tour, then we went back up north afterwards. But we always keep it down here.
Right. We actually named the Coachman, and the name of the Coachman is Gypsy Wagyn. And when we were just trying to come up with the name of the band and stuff, it was like, well, we could live in this thing, and we could be
We were going to
the
be
Gypsy Wagyn's band.
We were
So
going to be
then
the abandoned van bandana band.
Right.
But yeah.
we might just write that song instead. But anyway, that's how the name came about.
So I've read and I've heard you guys have a upcoming award in Vegas.
Yes,
Tell us a little bit about that.
It's the Producer's Choice Awards. It's in Las Vegas. It's at the Hard Rock Live. And we get the Best Outstanding Duo Award and Counterculture Award. And it gets better. We get to play for a guy named Ron Nevison, and he's produced greats like Led Zeppelin, The Who, Barbra Streisand even, and Bad Company. And we're really looking forward to it. It's going to be great up there. Yeah.
And that takes place on April 17th, so it's less than 2 weeks away. And so we're still trying to figure out what on earth we're going to wear at the red carpets to still be ourselves and still make an impact and have people take a look at us, take notice. It's coming right up.
Really good. Okay, a little bit of your musical influences.
Ooh, my influences. I've been into Led Zeppelin. It goes to The Dead, Grateful Dead, Metallica, and a lot of other.
Yeah. Let's see. I don't know. I actually, when I was growing up, I was sort of into like classical music, and I actually studied opera in college. And then from there, I went to blues and musical theater. So, believe it or not,
It's kind of a unique blend.
Yeah. So from all
really
those, you could probably guess that Janis Joplin was one of my major influences.
Most definitely. To a lot of you guys out there, I actually caught them last night. I'm actually going to go back out tonight to watch them. They blend very well. It's they have a very unique but yet beautiful sound. And her voice is amazing. Him on the guitars. I mean, those solos. You can't get any better than that. It's actually really good.
Thank you.
Now to go back to a little bit of your album.
Oh, I brought a couple of those, actually. I've got them in my purse over there. We've got 3 albums right now. Chapter 1, Book 2 was our first album. That came out in 2017. And we just finished producing 2 new albums. One is Elements of the Unknown, and the other one is Reflections. And what happened there is it took us a long time to record Elements of the Unknown. And in the process of that, we ended up writing a whole new album.
A whole nother album.
So,
In the time of when we were recording that. And it's like, we played a show, and we were like, oh, let's do some improvising. We ended up writing like 4 songs that night, and we ended up recording them on our little phone that we had, and we brought it back home, and we're like, oh, there's some good stuff here. We ended up finishing the one that we were recording, then we recorded another one right after it, released them at the same time. It was,
Nice.
yeah, it was a process to say the least. But. It was a lot of fun doing.
On the albums that you were just talking about, can you pick one track that means the most and why?
For me, right now, I'd say from the Elements of the Unknown album, the song Time has got me going really good.
Rocker, it's
It's a
strong.
rock and roll song. And what's more important about it to me is the lyrics talk to you about, it's sort of like a seize the moment sort of thing. Like, you take your time and use it. Don't be foolish and don't abuse it, because once it's gone, you can't get it back. And that's basically the theme of the song, and to me that's just important because there's a lot going on in the world right now, and time is fleeting every day. And so I guess, yeah, for me, that's the song that's got a lot of impact. How about you?
On that album, it's definitely Time. I like, on that album, I really like Planted in the Ground for You. It's another rocker. It's a little faster one. But I really like the Reflections album. It's different. It's more lighter but more feely. And I like Cool Breeze off that album, track 1. And gets you right in the,
Gets you right in the feels?
Yeah, right in the feels. Hear that?
All right, so Silly Owls, you guys have been there a few times.
Yeah.
Talk about the food. What's your kind of favorite kind of pizza?
Goliath, of course.
They make a pizza this big, and you can add anything that you want, really, that they have. But
Right now, we're all about the Hawaiian pizza with pepperoni. But I started out as an avid meat lover with extra cheese kind of girl here at Silly Owls. But I don't know, they have more than just pizza. They have sandwiches. If you haven't tried their Reubens and stuff like that they do
the
out of the
best food
oven.
in town, and I mean, for how busy that they get, they still deliver a good product.
Every time.
Every single time.
Every time.
It's great.
They're good. I'm partial to Hawaiian, but I get jalapenos.
Ooh,
A little different.
nice spice.
Everything I've had there, I haven't had any problems. And like you were saying, they still deliver good product.
Yeah, every time.
Regardless of, how busy it gets. So shout out to Robbie and Karen and Silly Owls. You guys are great.
It's also
we love
her
you.
birthday today.
It is! Happy birthday, Karen!
You guys have a show, and then you guys are going to be going to Vegas. Where else can people find you?
After Vegas, Vegas is April 17th, and after that, May and June, we're going to be up in Wisconsin. And then July, we'll be in Butte, Montana.
Yep, our first show back in town is going to be at Denny's Downtown Lanes in Grantsburg, Wisconsin. For those who don't know.
I didn't know you could do that at a Denny's.
It's not that kind of Denny's.
Oh,
It's
it's
a bowling alley
Oh,
bar.
okay. I was like,
So, yeah, it's our hometown. We actually got started at this place. We're super excited to have our first show back for the season with them guys.
It's 2,200 miles that way.
oh man, that's a bit
We
of a
have
jump
10 days to get there.
Oh
It'll be great, sightseeing extraordinary.
Yeah, that's the best part of being on the road, is stuff you see.
Mhm.
So I know you guys talked about music in your 2 albums. Are you guys currently working on anything, and when can you expect to hear it?
We are working on new stuff. In fact, we've already got 4 songs ready for the newest album. We haven't named it or anything, but we're busy writing all the time. And every time we set up to play and practice, we usually improvise something. So we're always trying to add more.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking within the next 6 months, we'll probably have another album ready for you.
Each album gets more in depth of a certain direction for a particular song. You know, like this song could sound like this. This song could be completely different. You know, and we wrote our first ballad.
I remember you talking about that last night.
And it's called "It Was Always You," and we're gonna play it at the Music Awards. It's a really strong, deep power ballad,
Right.
if you will.
Well, the reason we wrote it is actually kind of interesting. We're doing a lot of research for the show that we're doing in Las Vegas about Ron Nevison, and he was a producer to all the greats like we mentioned before. And through listening to all the music that he's had a part of, we sort of came up with this song, and it literally just kind of came through inspiration from Ron Nevison. It's as real as it gets. We wrote the song completely inspired by him.
That's the truth too. It's like
I'm
it
excited to
just
share it
happened
with
too.
him.
He came up with the riff, and came up with the whatever, and we sang it,
Yeah.
and it was like,
Felt
what
really
the
great.
heck just happened here? Because it was so different. It was very different than anything that we had, even done. You know? Yeah.
That's really cool. Are you guys going to have it recorded? Or
Absolutely.
We just
We're working on
recorded it.
that. We're working on that.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, I'm excited to share it.
So you mentioned your albums are out now. We'll have it posted with their pictures of the albums and where you can find them at. And then is there anything you guys would like to add?
Come out to Silly House tonight. Have the
That's
best
right.
pizza and have the best music.
Support locals, man. You guys are here, and I've seen you guys share and like and watch the live feeds locally in town. Go show some love. Also, come by and give Karen a happy birthday. Come on, she's a great lady.
It's true.
And if you're not right here, get out to the venue near you and support the local bands that are playing tonight.
Yes.
They're everywhere. And
Phoenix,
without you, we're
LA.
nothing.
It means the world.
Show some love for all these guys. Thank you guys again.
Thank you
And
so
I
much.
look forward to seeing you guys tonight. Can't wait to hear a little bit more of Johnny's stuff.
It's gonna be fun.
Telling you guys, they're amazing. I mean, her voice, him on the guitar. I mean, it's just, you can't get any better. Like I said, it's really good. Thank you guys again, and see you